Before I start this video, guys, I want to put one thing to rest. It's right here on my screen. It's talking about the background and timing of quantitative tightening. If you check this out here, 2017, when the Fed previously initiated balance short normalization QT, right there. If you take a look down here, look at that, 2017, 2018, and 19, the Fed did quantitative tightening. What did Bitcoin do? Let's take a look. I have an arrow where it started it. Look at what Bitcoin did. So let's put it to rest. Is it possible that assets can go up when they do QT? Obviously so. Go check the S&P 500. Now, on to the video. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over the cryptocurrency market and use a little bit of common sense. But I have this on my screen. And by the way, before I forget, do me a huge favor. Drop a like and smash that subscribe button. Help a brother out. Bring a little bit of common sense to the cryptocurrency market. Okay, guys, I have this on my screen here. The reason why I have this on my screen is not because I want to inform you guys if this is going on. This gives you another reason why you probably should be exiting the cryptocurrency market. I just made a video about that and telling people why they need to exit out cryptocurrencies, okay? Because of this right here, how the war goes on, how hedge funds and other institutions try to take things out. And well, you know what they're doing? It's not because they don't like USDT, is it? No, probably not. Probably not. They just want really, really cheap Bitcoin. And I'm going to show you how Bitcoin has another leg down. Nobody's aware of. They just go down. So let's go over some common sense stuff. And here's the debate. Everybody's given up on Bitcoin. I think I'm the last holdout, maybe. I don't know. So over here with this move that it did, and the debate on the this being a wave four, it's too deep. It's too deep, Greg, for a wave four. It's too deep. Okay, let's go through some common sense stuff here, guys. Let's take a look at what the data is telling us. We're going to use data, okay, instead of people. Now, this is the area. I'm going over this again. Here's 1, 2, 3, and this is a 4 here, but now people gave up and they're saying that's a 5, okay? And this is a wave 2. And it's going to come down to $3,000 per Bitcoin. Okay. Could that happen? It could. I don't know. I can't predict the future. I'm just going to go off data. Okay. Now, going back to that right there, I'm going to show you something going back to the Bitcoin chart and show you your exit signals. Here's a nice wave 3 right here. Okay. You can check the fibs. That's a 1.618. You could throw it on there and check it for yourself. Here's the peak of that wave 3 on the RSI, and there's a wave 5 right there, completed it, okay? You see the divergence, bearish divergence right there, boom, okay? So that was telling you that right there was your exit signal right there. Get out and just, you know, live peacefully for a while and let this suss itself out so you don't have to worry about that right there, okay? And over here, you see this? Here's your peak of your wave 3. Here's your peak of your wave 5 out of that whole wave. You see that? Divergence. Not as much. Now we're over on the wave 5 right here. You notice anything different? There to there. There to there. No divergence. Okay? Just an FYI. Okay? Now I'm going to go over to these ratios, statistical analysis of wave 4 ratios out of a lot of statistics of assets through going back to 1930. And it tells you the amount of time that wave 4 will retrace. So 24 to 30% is 15% of the time. 30 to 50% is 60% of the time. And 50 to 62% is 15% of the time. And more than 62% retracement of wave 3 is 10% of the time. Okay, so let's go back to our chart. Boom, here we are. Now, there is an L8 wave rule that cannot be broken with Bitcoin. And the top of that wave 1 right here cannot be breached. That's the only time you're going to know for sure, without a doubt, that this is not a wave 4. is when it breaches 13,848. If it makes a little tick below that, then we can say that this is becoming a wave 2. Okay. So, but the other thing I want to let you guys know is before we go into that, well, let me do a retracement. Okay. Here's the bottom of wave 3. Here's the top of wave 3 right there. I'm going to do a retracement on logarithmic scale. Look where Bitcoin is hanging out right now at the 0.382. It did wick down below it to be expected. It's right there at 0.382. You can see that. Here is the 50%. 50% is 14,762, still has not breached that area. But I have a target on Bitcoin. I'm going to go over that in the 16,000 area, higher 16,000s, and it can go down to about 15,600 in my opinion. Okay, are those areas that I'm looking for Bitcoin to go. Now I'm not going to, I'll show you that in a second. Now let's go over some more data with Bitcoin and take a look at that. Okay. Not what the media says. So now here's some stuff about what people are talking about in the RSI, that it's down lowest it's ever been, except in its infancy when it started, correct? We can all agree with that. It's way, way down there in this area. Can it go lower? It could. It could go much lower. Obviously, if you take a look at that, it can go, let's say, down to 21 and it's at 26. And on the weekly chart, to go from 26 to 21 is a lot. Actually, it's a lot. However, in my opinion, Bitcoin is it's not in a seller. We're not in a seller's market. We're in a buyer's market where people that have any common sense are probably going to start looking for long. So at a minimum, what I'm saying is that it's either going to complete a correction or there's something significant coming up and it's going to do a significant bounce. Let's take a look at some more data. I'm going to throw up the MACD. All right, I'm going to show you guys some stuff on the MACD of Bitcoin. Okay, so let's check this out. I have on the MACD for this wave that it's doing, this corrective wave, right here, I'm going to put a trend line. And on this MACD, that's bullish. That's bullish divergence. Don't count this momentum indicator. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at these red things right here. That's bullish divergence on the MACD, okay? So now what we're going to do, too, is we're going to look at the 2018 bear market on Bitcoin. So let me blow this up a little bit more, okay? So you see any similarities right there? So there it is right there on the MACD. Boom, you see that? Bullish divergence once it came all the way down there. So now let's go over to the 2014 bear market and take a look at the MACD again. Here it is at that peak, came down. I'm gonna put a trend line for you guys right there to there. I'm gonna put a trend line right here to here on the MACD. Okay, a lot. That's a huge amount of bullish divergence on the MACD. So just saying, guys, that the data is certainly telling us something a little bit different of what's going on in the media. And you don't want to, just what I'm saying is you don't want to get drowned out in the media or in all the information that's out there that's saying one thing and then the data is actually telling you another. Now, I don't know 100%, nobody can, that, you know, maybe basically it's just going to keep going down, down, down to $3,000 like some people are saying right now. But in my opinion, based off this data, there's a significant bounce for Bitcoin, okay, in this area. So now I'm going to go down the lower time frames and show you guys something. Let me go down to the 4 hour and I'll show you guys something that I've been talking about in previous videos, because Bitcoin, in my opinion, is in an incomplete sequence. So if you look at this sequence that Bitcoin has done, all right, let me take that off for the time being. I'll show you. This is an incomplete sequence. So we have here, let me go out to the 8 hour and I'll show you guys. We have here, all right, it took a minute to load up. We have here an A, B, and then a C, okay? And if you do a fib on this move, and you can't check it on linear, it goes, you know, it goes into the negative if you do linear. You see that? It's not going to work. So I'm in logarithmic to check it right now, let you guys know. So as you can see, if I pull this leg and here's a connector, and then we have another 5 wave, it hasn't hit that 1-to-1 yet. Okay. These moves like to hit the 1-to-1. And as you can see where my 1-to-1 is, as a matter of fact, I know that they like to wick down below that in this area. So that 1-to-1 is right there at 17.2. I have more of a target of about 16.8 and maybe as deep as 15.5 or in that area, because Bitcoin has not completed a sequence right here. 1, 2, that's a whole 3rd wave up for a 4th, and it's got to come down for that 5th to scare everybody right now. Come down in this area to make sure everybody gets scared, and that all makes sense with everything that's going on in the media. So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to go over some other charts real quick. So that makes sense. If you go here to the, let me go back out to the weekly. On the DXY, that has another push up, okay? Push up right there on the DXY. Oil is trending up, okay? If you look out the daily chart on oil, it's trending up, in my opinion, in ABC to keep the markets down for like an inflation type thing. This is what you want to really check for inflation. So up on a B on that. Same thing with natural gas. Okay, the 10-year treasuries, indication on interest rates. You want to take a look at those two. Still have another push up. Okay, right here. This is all telling me, for those that aren't paying attention to these boring charts, that's telling me that Bitcoin, let me go back to Bitcoin, is going to be doing this move down here. It's setting itself up to do that move. And then in my opinion, there's going to be something significant in that area. Now, if it consolidates and just moves in this area like this, guys, you know, boom, 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 it could do that. And that's a risk that it's going to be, that some people are just going to have to realize that could happen. Okay. Now, if it's completing something or not completing something, there's at least going to be a bounce. There should be a significant bounce in this area, in my opinion, just based off all this data that's down here that I'm looking at on the MACD, the RSI, the other charts and everything, that there should be some sort of significant bounce, in my opinion. Don't know, but that's what I'm planning for. It's setting itself up to do something over here, in my opinion, guys. And another thing that I do too, guys, that I follow, those that are not familiar with it or maybe familiar with it, is the 60-day cycle, that I do kind of pay attention to it. I don't rely on it, but it does have some validity to it. So if you guys want to know more about it, there's Bob Lucas. He goes by that. There's a lot of fake ones out there, so make sure you get the real one. And he does do that. He just recently put out a tweet, 10th of July. So what does this mean? I'm going to go over real brief. So what this means with his cycle theory is he just put out a tweet at 10th of July is going to be the area to look for a cycle low. What I have here on these vertical lines is about 15 days before and 15 days after. So somewhere in that area is going to be the low, and then it's going to have a 60-day cycle low. And based on the theory, then it has a trend up, supporting the evidence, what I was saying about, okay, the low's coming in and there's probably going to be a significant bounce. All right, so now I'm back to the 4-hour chart, guys. So there's an incomplete sequence right here. What I was saying in previous videos, that Bitcoin needs to do that. You know, there is some you know, suspicion that could have been the bottom, but then, you know, I just took a look at the information a little bit closer and go, oh no, guess what? It's an incomplete sequence. It hasn't completed it, and it's doing this. So it's dragging everything up. If you take a look, I'll show you something in the RSI, guys. Look at this. You see that? It's dragging it up. If I go out to the 8-hour chart on the RSI, you see how it's dragging it way up there? Look how high this RSI's gone. It went way up there to set itself up to do that. And based off the other chart data, the VIX, the oil chart, the 10-year treasuries, the DXY, or the dollar index, you know, it's setting itself up to do that. It's going to take these people off guard. And then this information right here, you know, and everybody's going to be talking about, you know, these liquidations, Celsius and Three Arrows Capital and everything else. Well, there's another one coming. There's another one coming. Something's going to be happening, and it's going to be right here, guys. Hit that target, you know, could be 15, 16, 9 down to as low as 15, 6 or something like that. And that's going to be a pretty darn good drop if you think about it. Let's say it's right there right now, guys, and comes down another 26%. And let's say it's right there for a total drop of, let's see what that total drop would be from the top right there down to there would be 77. It could be as much as, my thing went wrong. So it could be as much as, 78, almost 80% drop, guys. So food for thought, take a look at that. Just keep your head on straight when it comes to the markets. The media is going to, the media, whether it's intentional or not, have a tendency to send people down the wrong path. If you made it all the way to the end, we do appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to drop that like, hit that subscribe button. Peace.